reports they rented a boat together in June of 2021 when she was pregnant with her first child. TMZ produced documents showing where each signed for the boat, and a source told the outlet that those two were the only people on the boat. Meanwhile, Patriots quarterback Drake May called Vrabel a, quote, great human being, end quote, on the same day that boat story dropped. Hey, Drake, I think you're confusing solid coach with great human being. A great human being is not running around on his wife with an NFL insider, showing up at a couples-only resort, making out in bars, hanging out in casinos, and renting boats for two. Now, is he the worst human being? No. Is he a great human being? No. You can have your coach's back without calling him a great human being, because he's definitely not that. And before you call your owner a great human being, you might want to Google him first. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. Jim Rome here. True story. I married the best person I've ever met, Janet. And not only that, but the best mother I know. So would it not stand to reason that I would get her the very best gift for Mother's Day? Aura Frames. What an absolutely amazing product. I love it so much. And more importantly, she does. Save on gifts that moms love at auraframes.com. For a limited time, get $25 off the Carver mat frame. That's the one we have. You have to use the code ROME, R-O-M-E. Support this show by mentioning the Jim Rome Show at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. auraframes.com.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such nature films as Earwigs, Ooh, and Man vs. Nature, The Road to Victory.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
You seem to know all the players in this poorly acted farce. What do they call that one?
Jake Ballbrock.
Thank you. When the world is mine, your death shall be quick and painless.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to another Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you this morning. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland, ready to rock and roll, ready to get you ready for the weekend, in fact. Hope it's a great weekend for everybody. Don't forget, Mom, fellas, Mother's Day's coming up. Just a friendly reminder here. We get news on the NCAA tournament. It's official. We thought it would be. Now it is. The Royals can't take the series. Now they can't rest because they have another big series looming tonight with some tough injury news on the horizon. TJ's back fresh from Banana Ball. We'll get the take on there and more. It's all on Sports Daily. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring Caddy Snack, Wichita's golf beer. Caddy Snack Blonde Ale, refreshingly crushable, makes the perfect pairing from the first tee to the 19th hole. No matter the score, Caddy Snack reminds you to beer the ball. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. Lots of different ways for you to be a part of the show today. You can get in touch with us via the phone lines at 869-1240. You can email us at sportsdaily@kfhradio.com. You can give us your video comments via Facebook, YouTube, or X. You can leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app if you're listening there. Thanks also for watching on 12 News Connected. We want to hear from you. TJ, did you recover from the party last night?
Much like the website Canvas, I am down for the count. You see that story? Holy cow. That headline you missed?
No, I saw it. None of my kids are on that one.
It's more of a college thing. Yeah.
They use a different one. So, but yeah, look.
On finals week, that is like nightmare scenario. You know, my first thought was like, how many professors are going to become these kids' worst nightmares and say, actually, you know, that test that was going to be open note, open internet on paper, 7 a.m. tomorrow. It's like, what?
There may be an equal amount that just say everybody gets a B.
That's right. That's the other half of this. I always tell people that my freshman year of college, I took an art class, and man, I was struggling. And it was like art appreciation, which one of the gen eds you have to take at most schools. I was struggling, and I was like, this is brutal. And then the pandemic hit, and then everything got better. It's crazy.
Yeah,
School got a little easier.
It got a. Yeah, I mean, it's coming. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Kids are like leaving. They don't have a place to live. Like, all right, everybody, I guess we'll just give and maybe it's just like you all get you just the kids that have to try to like raise their average maybe through the test. That's who it's really. I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know. I cannot imagine because kids are leaving in a week. Less than a week.
Because is this being held ransom like these hackers do? Or like who are they holding ransom on
Mr.
this?
Mr. Canvas?
Everybody.
Yeah, that's the thing is that it's not a university. Like, I don't know what you do. Like, you can't just say, you know what, we're moving to Blackboard. The worst part about it is that I've seen is that like these kids, like it's not so much as they can't take the test. Like they don't, all the study guides are on Canvas, like every note, everything is on there. Like that's the part where it's like, what?
I first saw this and I thought it was the app, the super easy to use graphic design app, Canva. And so I'm like, okay, well that's annoying, but we'll be okay. And then I realized what Canvas was, add the S. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is a
way bigger deal.
Yeah. I don't know what we expect's coming with AI, but like this feels like our society tethering to the internet and all this stuff is gonna get ugly and rocky. Like somebody's gonna be able to just make AI that hacks everything like nothing, and it's just we're gonna be like, what do we do now? What sci-fi of the '60s was probably right. It's coming. Glad we have technology to bring you a radio show on video and radio every day, though. Save AM radio, right? Yeah. Save AM radio. I don't think they can hack that.
Speaking of being tethered to everything, we're sitting in basements right now, live streaming a show over streaming service and over the air. Yeah, we're not tethered to it at all either.
Yeah, it's all there for us. Very analog day for me yesterday at a garage sale.
That's right.
It was
nickel and diamond people.
No, that's there wasn't as much of that as I feared because I am of the sentiment of like, I just want to get all of this stuff out of my house. Sure, you want to give me 50 cents left. There were only a couple scenarios that presented themselves like that, and I held strong. A couple I caved on. My wife, though, ruthless.
She made the price go up.
She's like, no, yeah. You know how that says two? It's 3 now. Sorry, put it back. No, it was fun though. It was good. It was busy. Shout out to all the folks that said hi. Shout out to Kevin the mailman. Delivers and listens to us. He said every morning. So hey, Kevin, thank you for doing that.
Kevin the mailman always delivers.
Always delivers. He was giving me some tips too on what he sees in the garage sales. It's pretty clutch. Like who knows more about garage sales than mailmen and women? Mail carriers.
You gotta have the right curb appeal. If you don't have the curb appeal, nobody's stopping.
So that was a big thing. We got so this is good fodder for the show. So I bring out the speaker and I'm like, why don't we play some music? Right? Let's play some music. And it's like, well, what do we play? My choice, we opened with Jimmy Buffett Radio. And my wife's like, I don't know about that. And I'm like, Jimmy Buffett Radio? Literally everybody on the planet loves Jimmy Buffett. Like, this is perfect. What are we talking about here? So then we went back and forth on a bunch of different stations. I think we landed on like 80s, 90s country for a little while, which was nice to listen to. But I'm like, I just don't know if this is the vibe.
It's got to be something around there. You're putting a little too much seasoning once you get into 90s country and everything. Like, you need it to be like the nice soft guitar, some nice soft 70s, like Jimmy Buffett. Like that's the right kind of idea.
That's what I thought.
You want your clientele walking in and saying like, man, I remember this back when I was a wee lad. Like this is nice.
But everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Nobody ever is like, walking around being like, oh, Margaritaville, I hate that song. Nobody says that. So it was. It was good. It was good. And then she made me change it and we landed. And then it got me to thinking, though. I was like, what we should do is play party music, grill hot dogs, get like a keg of beer out here. Because I can't tell you, TJ, I'm going to tell you right now, if in 20 years you see my wife dragging me around to garage sales, because I saw these poor guys, and maybe some of them were having fun. Some of them did not seem like they were having fun. Yep. If my life ever gets to that point, just put me down. just pull the plug. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I've got it in me.
There is something to be said about driving around in the car, and then that could be mom or whoever, saying, "Man, it's a garage sale 4 blocks away. Let's let them have fun." Okay?
Just watch my wife rifle through a bunch of used stuff. Like, no, thank you.
You gotta have hand sanitizer as well. Like I'm not a germaphobe, but if I'm filing through your old PJs, I need to wash my hands a little bit.
Nah, I'm not a germaphobe at all. That doesn't bother me. I just don't want any. I don't want stuff. I don't want stuff. I don't have a lot of stuff. I don't need a lot of stuff. So garage sales.
I'm the same idea.
I love hosting one. It's great. Had a lot of fun with it, actually.
I'm with you.
This weekend, the kids
I honestly,
it's gonna be awesome.
The only thing that I ever indulge in at garage sales is like lawn tools and golf equipment. It's like if you can walk in and you can say like, "Hey, I haven't golfed in 5 years. Here's a bucket of 100 golf balls." It's like sold.
Yeah, yes,
give me those.
That would be a good one. Ours is very niche. It's 90% kids, girls clothes. And so most people didn't have, but man, the people that wanted something, it was like jackpot, baby. And it was like a TJ Maxx at our driveway. It was great. Come see us Saturday. We'll have lots of good stuff for you. All right, we'll come back. Let's start with this NCAA tournament. That all kind of started while you were out of town, so we'll get your take on it. But we're going to 76. What do we think? Let's hit it next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. We are glad to be with you here on this Friday, TGIF, everybody. Longhoffer Lawn and Tree Care celebrating 60 years in Wichita, providing expert lawn care for healthy lawn, tree and shrub care, and bedweed control since 1966. Longhoffer Lawn and Tree Care. Glad to be with you. Jake Ballbrock, TJ Cleland, Max Power producing. TJ, this has been inevitable for a long time. I mean, the tournament was expanding. I think we all kind of got that sense. Nobody wants it. I always asterisk to my take on it is I don't really want it either, but it's happening. My feel for it is doesn't really mean anything, doesn't really change anything for most of us. And as long as they make sure that happens, it's not a big deal. And I think what we're seeing so far would tell us, okay, not a big deal. We're adding, what are we adding? 6 teams? 8 teams. We're adding 8 teams to the bracket. I think where this may all eventually get to, because remember, it was like the turn of the millennium when we added a 65th team. There was 1 play-in game. And then a little while after that, we made it, to 68 teams. So there were 4 play-in games. Now we're just expanding again the play-in portion of this tournament. And it makes me wonder, like, down the road, because conference tournaments mean a ton to one-bid leagues. But conference tournaments, as much as we have fun in Kansas City, the Big 12 tournament doesn't mean anything most of the time. So I wonder if we ultimately get to the point where like conference tournaments happen, but it's like whatever. And we re-emphasize what the play-in tournament essentially could become, because that's all this is. Like the only thing that really changes here are Tuesday and Wednesday. They're playing more games. And I like, let's take Wichita State for example and say they're an at-large last year and they go to that play-in. Would you rather see them play in the NCAA play-in games or the NIT? Because, you know, you're eventually kind of getting into that range. Like, who are these NIT host teams?
Yeah.
Most of the time, that's kind of the range that we're talking about here. So for the fan base, for the university, for the team, for its future, which one would you prefer? Of course, you'd prefer the play into the NCAA tournament, right? I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
No, I don't think so. My biggest thing with it that I have a problem with, I'm with you, is that I don't want it but like it's not going to make that much of a difference in 68. Slippery slope argument, if you will. What's next? 90? Who knows? 64 was the right number. We've already gone past that, and now it's just, you know, as my complaints always are whenever you expand playoffs, is then why are we watching the regular season? And this was a tournament already that, you know, has, you know, maybe the most scrutiny about it. There's always something between this and football. I don't know which one you think is more scrutinized, but probably because it's just a higher leverage. But still, there's always every single year, and it never seems to fail. There's always, and it's not always, and I feel like it's, you know, better than it used to be, but it feels like always that, you know, the argument has been like, what's the point of the games? If you're a preseason top 25, the chances that you're getting an at-large bid, regardless of how your season goes, like, is pretty high. Like, unless you absolutely tank, but like, you know, like Auburn is the perfect example. Like, they had, you know, so many losses on their resume, but they ended up missing out. They were the next team in, you know, like and so they'd be in with, and so at some point the games have to matter. I think that like this does open the door for more mid-majors to get in, but in the end of it, you know, you hope that's what happens. You hope it isn't that. I will say, to pivot here, what you said isn't it the craziest idea that I've ever heard. Is that I agree, is that conference tournaments are, you know, kind of useless. They're fun for schools like the American because you get them, but then in the same breath, like, why don't we just send the regular season champion? That's our champion, you know, like, and that's always been kind of the thing, is that like, what's the point of the whole year if I lose? And what if you're Belmont and Casey Alexander? You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. And so
if you're going to expand the play-in, right, and Belmont has a better chance to get into that play-in tournament with its, you know, with its regular season resume, is that maybe better than conference tournament week? Is
I want to say
play-in tournament expansion better?
But it's not going to be per se a play-in tournament, I wouldn't think.
Not right now. I'm saying down the road, if it ever gets to that point.
That's where I'm going with this, is that I've never really thought of it like that. That was what I was going to talk about in this segment, is that, you know, it drives me nuts. First of all, my soapbox is that it already drives me nuts that auto bids have to play in games.
Right. Me too.
And I get why they like it, because you get a chance to win money, and that's been a thing forever. But it's so dumb. Like, they won their conference like, make NC State and these teams that are begging to get in, they have to play in it, you know, like make Auburn, that this was where they need to play. And whether that means that gets in the weeds a bit, because that means that it's probably what's the lowest at large, like a 12, probably 11
that'll play in that tournament.
Just in general, who's the lowest?
Yeah, I mean,
it's usually like an 11.
No, I mean, they go down to 11s. I think sometimes they even go down to 9s. But yeah. I don't know that. I can't ever figure out the formula on that, by the way.
It seems like 11s are usually where the last teams in get, and that's why there's a play-in game at 11. It
feels like Syracuse makes a run every third year.
Exactly. 11 usually is around the range where you're not as good as the top powers and you're not as bad as the low majors that got the auto bids. So anyways, but that gets in the weeds if you're not having auto bids in, because then it turns into like, you're going to have like 11s, 10s, 9s, 8s, and 7s. And so it's like, man, if you're a 7 seed and you get stuck in the play, like, you know, and so there's no real formula to make everybody happy when you do this either. That's my other gripe about this. At the end of the day, if you are Grambling State and you end up in a 16 playing game and you win, congrats, you got a nice check. Like that's your consolation, I guess.
I mean, forever too, they've been able to put the teams, like the lucky teams that didn't have a good year but got lucky and won their conference tournaments. Like, that's kind of where we've seen those teams go. And I'm actually okay with that. As much as I don't want them taken out. If a 16 plays a 16 is still going to play a 1 when we start the NCAA tournament.
But it doesn't, like, that should reorder the events, and then they should become 15s. And I get it. That may make the first round worse. It will make the first round worse if you did it that way, actually. But at the end of the day, like, you gotta just,
the 16 winner of the playing game probably has a better chance to beat a 1 once they get there, though. You're just not guaranteed to get there.
Yeah,
I go on this, like, to the point of, why do we watch the regular season? We knew that Wichita State had zero chance to be an auto bid for more than half of the season.
After Atlantis, you knew that.
So were you less inclined to watch the regular season because their only ticket in was going to be a conference tournament win.
It's true. I think in that conversation's different is that we've had conversations before about, do we put too much on this tournament? Like at the end of the day, if the Shockers would have run the regular season American Championship and then they didn't get in, and it would suck that they didn't get in, everybody would walk around town and gripe and moan and kick their feet and like, oh, we didn't get in March Madness. Like, well, you won the conference championship, guys. Like, that's not a failure. Like, I think that there's a lot of that in college basketball, which is a whole other soapbox that I don't want to get on right now. My point that I'll make back here is that I hadn't thought about it the way that you kind of brought up. If there was a way that you could make this a true play-in tournament to say, like, we've got one spot, you can have
let's say there's 90 teams now.
It'd be chaos. Like, we have 1 seed up for grabs. Like, here you go. All of the 10 that didn't make it, you guys decide who's getting the spot. That I'd be on board for, because that'd be fun.
Instead of a conference tournament.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And it has to be all at-larges. It can't be auto-bid. Like, that would be the only way that I would be okay with doing that. In the same breath, though, if you're one of those teams, it'd be fun to be in there for sure. And you'd probably still take that over the NIT for sure, because you can also just lose in the first round of the NIT and your season's over too. So I don't think that's the argument to that. But if you're one of those teams, it's like, can you not that anybody cares, but can you consider that a March Madness appearance at that point, or is it like yeah, we were the 90th team in and then we lost to Miami of Ohio? It's like,
the language for incentives on coaches' contracts.
Exactly. That's why it matters.
Really interesting.
You know what? You want to know who's the biggest proponent for expansion of the March Madness is the coaches that get paid if they make it in the tournament.
Well, look, if there's more money to be had, as we're watching Wichita State cut golf and all these, if there's more money to be had, this really should be probably a no-brainer, and that's why it was. Like, this was never in doubt. This was happening. Everybody wanted this to happen. And if the reason is because you have a chance to get a little more money into the coffers to help your overall athletics programs, because right now I get it. Like, so much of that money just gets recycled into the programs that generate the money. At some point, we will have a reckoning on that. Like, I don't know when, I don't know how soon, but it will happen at some point. Like, the craziness we're experiencing now, mostly, I again would contend, because of the transfer portal, not because of NIL or college compensation, but it's the transfer portal that's driving up these prices and making this so crazy. When we get some of that under control, then yeah, the play-in tournament maybe gives a team, Wichita State, an opportunity to generate a little more money to support its golf program. And I think that's very real. That's the way it used to be, right? And so it's coming. Let me say it again from the top. I don't want this. I don't think we need this. I don't want it. But I get it. And I don't think it's going to impact the way I consume college basketball one sliver.
No.
If these are all 16s playing each other in these playing games, I'm probably not watching them anyway. Don't watch them now. Can't imagine I will. But if it was Auburn versus Tulsa, which was, did we get that in the NIT?
If
it was Auburn versus Tulsa to go in, I'm probably watching that.
That game,
like, I'm in on that game. I don't watch play-in games typically. I'd watch that one.
That game was incredible in the NIT, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, other point to make here. We talk about this momentarily. First of all, the chances that this will be a play-in tournament, like we're saying, is probably less than 10%, less than 5%.
Yeah. That'd be the next expansion that's probably coming in 8 years.
Well, I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's interesting to see, like, what it's going to be. Just the one random, play into the 16. It's going to be that. Yeah. By the way, I saw somebody bring up during March Madness, why is it called the Final Four when it's the final 4 teams, but it's called the first 4 when it's the first 4 games and there's 8 teams. There's no, they didn't.
That's a good point.
They didn't coincide. Now it'll be the first 16 if we're going by teams, or the first 8.
Yeah, they'll brand this up. They'll make this a big deal. The other thing that appears, and I haven't seen if this changed since they first floated this out there and what was announced yesterday, Dayton will be one site, right? And then I think it's going to be they're either going to pick like a West Coast site. I don't know if it'll stay permanent to help with the time zones, but you can also potentially make this fun for some cities and do some things like that. And, there are just too many opportunities for this to not be there. And I get it. Everyone's concerned about what you started with. Well, this just waters down the regular season. Man, they play 162 games in baseball. And if you love baseball and your team's good, you're watching most of them.
Yeah.
In college basketball, KU's
point,
been a 1 seed, and it's been a foregone conclusion for a long time in a lot of years. When we were in, I don't know, late January, fewer people aren't watching KU play because they know they're going to be in the NCAA tournament as a 1 seed.
Yeah, it's true.
You're still watching them because you love the game and you love your school.
I think so. My biggest, I wrote a thesis paper about this actually. The reason why people are saying that baseball is dying and football is continuous to grow, and the NBA is even now waning a bit compared to the NFL. How it just keeps why the NFL is so popular, and it's the easiest answer of all time is because they don't play that many games.
Right.
And you have to watch them or you miss something. It's like a TV show. Like you have to see the game. And so now that's my point in all this stuff is that and it's like that already. But you look at March Madness and it's like, what do you think about Iowa State or who's a good one? UCF. UCF's a bubble team. What do you think about that? It's like, well, did you see their game back in January 15th? It's like, no.
But it's already that way, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
we're already doing that. The NFL is also created the greatest television product of all time. That helps them.
We had this conversation is if you were Wichita, do you want that? Do you want the first 8, the expeditious 8? You can't call it the Elite 8.
What do you mean? Do I want it?
Would you
the city of?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Good timing. We just got a question on YouTube. Any chance Wichita could become? I don't think right now, because I think right now their goal is to go West Coast. Now, if they ever take it away from Dayton, then I would say
this is my hypothetical here. That's probably not ever going to happen. Is that if they took it away from Dayton, would have to, which I don't think they will. If they traveled them all together, there's something to be said about that. Like cities would be like, we'll take 16 teams in a week. Like, absolutely. Like, we'll make it work. Like, we'll start games at 8 a.m. in Intrust. Like you could make an argument to say like Wichita gets it. And it's like, all right, we'll have, these games going on at Coke Arena, these games going on at Intrust, and we're going to just make a giant party of it. It'll be all this stuff.
It kind of lends itself to how much are fans going to try. This is a bigger part of the conversation than just Wichita. How are fans going to treat these games?
So that's my point here is that if you are Wichita, and you brought this point up, which is interesting, is that do you want that? And you can say like, hey, we could be the host side of this every other year or something like that. But if you do that, you lose getting any round of 64 or 32 or Sweet 16. You know what I mean?
Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I think Dayton still occasionally gets some.
I don't think they do.
Games. They don't.
I don't think so. I don't think the arena's big enough for regular tournament games.
Maybe not. I don't know on that. I will tell you with certainty that I would rather be a host city of the first 2 rounds than the regional.
But what if you so you'd get, I mean, what is it? It's been 8 years, I think, or 7 years until one came back. It was 18 and then 2025.
Yeah, but we missed one because of COVID.
True. So for every 4 years, probably.
So it would have
4
been,
or 5.
And then we had to go back to the bottom.
Let's say every 5 years. Every 5 years, you can get a draw if things go well in Wichita to get the round of 64. Or would you take that, or would you cancel that out to say every other year you get this?
Probably would still take the round of 64.
I don't know.
I gotta see how it seeds out. If I'm going to get, Prairie View A&M and Jacksonville State, then I don't want it.
That's the thing is that, you may only get that every 5 years, but when you get that, you get Kelvin Sampson and you get Mark Few and Ben McCollum.
And there's a real good chance you get Kansas.
It's true. If you get the other thing, you're never going to get Kansas.
That's what I'm saying. I would still take the rotational first round. Wichita is built to host March Madness, as we saw both times it was here, but especially the last time it was here. I've never seen a regional site like that. And Omaha does awesome work with theirs, but I've never seen one like Wichita. Now, had good weather, that helps, which is always you're always rolling the dice with the weather that time, because I've been to Omaha when it's nasty, and it was tough. Like, it wasn't the same as when it's nice weather and everybody's out like that. Again, I don't want this. I'm not asking for it, but I just don't think it's going to impact anything I do with college basketball from October to March. Nothing will change. And then let's see if we like these play-ins anymore. We'll come back. Let's talk a little Royals. We've got Jaylon Thompson next hour as well. Bad injury news for KC. We'll have it next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
9, 1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. It's going to be a great weekend for golf. It will be, just be careful, Dad. It's Mother's Day weekend, husbands. Yeah, it'll be a great weekend for golf. 36 holes to choose from Crestview. Counting down the days, TJ, until that pool opens up. There's a big swim team every summer that the kids do. My kids have done it. There's so much family stuff to do there at Crestview, including the golf. So give them a call. Go tour the facilities. Tell them we sent you. Ask about all the different kinds of memberships they have. We think you might like it. All right, we come back here to Sports Daily. The Royals, TJ, can't take the series. That's kind of a bummer. I mean, what are you going to do? Seth Lugo had a bad start. I mean, what are you going to do, right? And the kind of crummy thing is he had to come out so early, like you felt like they were in striking distance, and then you get into kind of the underbelly of the bullpen, and it kind of comes back to bite you a little bit. I don't know what it's okay. Like everything's fine. I still feel pretty good about splitting that series, all things considered. You got into it, and Cole Reagans is hurt now, and Seth Lugo had a bad start. You split the series, go win the Detroit series. I'm okay with the outcome, but man, when you win the first two, sure feels like you got a great shot to win the series, and you don't. So now they're back to 2.5 games back behind Cleveland, a game behind Detroit. So you win the series now with Detroit, and you'll be tied with the Tigers. So there's your goal, easy thing to shoot for, strive for. The trouble comes when we see Cole Reagans. Oh boy. Pitcher's elbow. Is that the official diagnosis there, TJ?
I never said, but I told Brady yesterday, I said, if you're a pitcher, things that you don't want to get injured early up on the list is tricep and elbow. It's like the main muscles you use to throw a baseball.
It's called valgus extension overload.
Did he get tests back?
Yeah, that's what Matt Quattraro said, according to Jaylon, who we'll have on next hour. Valgus extension overload. I believe I saw that was pitcher's elbow. So we'll get that. We'll clarify that with Jaylon. It's at the same time that Carlos Estevez gets shut down. So here we go. Somebody asked an AI on X about it. Grok. Is it Grok or Grok?
I usually say Grok, but I think it's Grok. I have no idea.
It says it's pitcher's elbow. Yeah. Is repetitive stress causes elbow pain, blah, blah, blah. Resting a few days. Next steps depend on how he feels. He's already improving. They hope to avoid the IL, according to Grok. That was probably just coming from reports. So we'll get it from, but it is pitcher's elbow. We'll get it from Jaylon. I mean, if you can avoid the IL, okay. And his other issues last year were shoulder, correct? I don't believe he's ever had elbow issues.
Well, he's had Tommy John twice.
Not since he's been a Royal.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's related. I mean, the thing about Tommy John, which is wild that he's had it twice, is it usually like fixes it, right? It's usually like once you're through it and you're back to normal, like you're good. So I don't know. But if you have shoulder issues, it can go into your elbow, and like that it's a problem. Cole Reagans being the ace of this team is probably something we need to say, let's put that on the back burner for now. And as we set expectations for them, we need to set them thinking Cole Reagans is not going to be the dude he was the year they traded for him. Let's just get settled up with that, because that's the scenario I think we're facing. Seth Lugo's had a couple of these this year where he hasn't looked very good, but most of the time he has. So I'm not overly concerned with that yet. But again, it just puts a little pressure on the offense here. And if Estevez isn't going to be back for a while, that's a problem, I think, TJ. Like, we've seen the bullpen settle in a little bit on the back end. Like, they're starting to find their groove. Obviously, Ersig's been good. Lynch has been lights out. We've seen Strom settle in here. He's been scoreless for a while. The pitching's not going to be this. What we were afraid of when the season started. It didn't feel like there was any way the pitching could keep the pace it kept the last 2 years, which is okay if the offense takes the next step. We have seen the offense take the next step the last 2.5 weeks. Can it stay there, though, or is this going to be typical Royals streakiness where we're seeing good offense now? Because if they go cold again,
I agree. This is a big series. And I get, we're radio people and we do this every week, but this is a big series against Detroit. Splitting Cleveland isn't a big deal as long as you don't lose the series against Detroit. I'll put it that way. You agree with that?
I agree with that.
Especially a Scooble-less Detroit.
Well, you just had this opportunity in front of you, and you're not going to get a lot of those, and you're probably not going to win enough games to be a wild card. Maybe you can be. Maybe. We don't know that yet.
I was going to bring that up yesterday. I don't think there's a world way. I think the AL Central is going to beat themselves up so much that you're going to have to win it to get in.
That's your path. Yeah, I don't. Again, like we've played this game before.
Yeah.
What number do you want to put on the Royals to make a wild card? I mean, at this point in the season, you can't pick a number any lower than 87 wins, right? You can't. Like that. You have to start there. Now, maybe it is less than that, but you can't. As we're guessing what it's going to take, like you can't take less than that. So if you've got to get to 87, you've played 38 games. Okay, you've got to get to 87. And that means you got to win 69 games. Okay. Keep that number in mind. You've got to win 69 games the rest of the way to get to that number. And you have 124 games left. You've got to go 69 and 55. You've got to be 14 games over 500 the rest of the way to reach 87 wins. If 87's the number.
Sounds terrifying.
I just like that is. Now, it may take 87 games to win the Central ultimately anyway, but that's always going to be right in front of them. They can control it. That's why that you, to your point of this being a big series, you don't get an infinite number of games head to head against Cleveland and Detroit. That's where you move. Those are the game. Those are the series where you can really move in the standings. And so that's what makes this a big series this weekend. Over time, the Scooble injury probably, almost certainly plays into your favor as the Royals. But right now, you can pass them. You can take care of them. And then you don't have to worry about them for the moment. You got to worry about Cleveland again. So I'm with you. I think it's going to be AL Central or bust. Now, I will say, though, the American League this year, who else is – you're looking at the wild card right now. Two of your wild card teams are sub 500. So maybe we are in a year where it's like 84. Maybe it is one of those lucky years, and it does come back into play. But I just can't imagine that over the course of 162, because Tampa's crazy right now on a 7-game win streak, and they're still not even in first place. But you really, really think between Seattle, Detroit, the Rangers, the Blue Jays, the Royals, if they want to be one of those, Baltimore, like you really think all of those teams are going to stay hovering and below 500? Because that's probably not reality.
I agree. I think
and maybe the Royals are the team of that group that goes, because I think they have the roster to do it. But that you can't. It's May 8th. It's all about the AL Central right now.
No, I'm with you. I agree. I think that the biggest question mark right now is, and it ties into what we're talking about, is, Cole Reagans, to me, the first thing I think about is, well, Noah Cameron hasn't been great. Like Noah Cameron has been, not quite as serviceable as he was last year, but scary when he goes out there. Now you got Cole Reagans that may be coming off of an injury. And then Seth Lugo has a bad day yesterday. And I don't want to overreact too much to the bad day for Seth Lugo, but my brain says, you hope Reagans isn't anything, because then you're putting your seat on Waco, Lugo, and Bubic. You know what I mean? Like how it's the same argument we have as the bullpen.
Bubic injury history. Lugo wore down last year. I mean, Waka ended up being the steady Eddie last year, but I get it. This is what TJ, before the season, what did I say my biggest concern with the Royals was? It was their starting pitching. the way they finished last year and some of these injury histories, it's like, I don't know, man. Like they've been real lucky in the rotation the last 2 years.
It may be fine, but in the same breath, like it reminds me of the bullpen conversation that we had, to where it was like, man, like the bullpen is blown 10 games late. It's like, well, they don't have any wiggle room at all, you know, or it's like, golly, like the Royals like just dropped another series. And it's like, well, like 2 of the starters in there aren't going to get you a win. Like they're just hoping for a no decision, you know?
And the bullpen's a little different too than a starting rotation, because you can tinker and pull guys up and catch lightning in a bottle. Like bullpens are weird like that. You know, you can count on Ursig, you can count on Lynch, you can probably count on Strom. Everything else is going to be kind of a crapshoot. And that's the way most teams are right now.
You want to know the worst part about it is that whenever your starting pitching is down, you know how you win games? By scoring runs.
And they're scoring runs in May. I mean, their May has been great, to be quite frank.
Vinny Homer yesterday, finally.
Bobby Witt is heating up.
Did you see Vinny's? By the way, we'll tease into the headlines, I guess. Did you see Vinny's post-game comments?
Last night?
Yes.
I didn't see anything last night.
Yeah, sorry. Sarah, you're whipping around secondhand clothes. I forgot.
Yeah.
Let me give this to you. Let me pull it up.
I listened to the game right here on KFH, though, during the garage sale.
Denny
and I think it was Eisenberg yesterday.
Let me see. I think our pal Mick Schaefer put this out after the game. He said, I can't play it because, you know, it's NSFW, but basically he said that I've been bleeping horse bleep at the plate with runners in scoring position, and just went all out and aired it all out about how upset he is in the way that he's playing, and something to the fact of like the pitcher or I don't even know this part of the story. Somebody was like talking crap to him from the Guardians about how bad he's hitting the ball. And he said, you want to ask anybody, go ask that guy. He told me how bad I am. And he's right. I can't say anything.
Vinny's an interesting cat. He can be self-deprecating. He's fun. I think he's starting to look good though. Like, and that's what sucks is like the one thing you could count on him was being productive with runners in scoring position. And that's what's failed him this year. But I think it's coming around for everybody. Salvi's the guy who is still not all the way back. I think, like, to me, he still doesn't look locked in. I think Vinny looks pretty locked in. Bobby Witt Jr. is 100% locked in. I think he's matched his home run total for the year this week, hasn't he? Something like that. He is really starting to hit, and that's great. And Garcia has continued to be like steady. So look, the offense has been really good in May. My big, like even bigger probably, because the starting pitching is not going to be what it was. Like I just don't believe that it will be. Which offense is true? April's offense or May's offense? Which one's the true thing?
It's true.
Because if it's May's offense so far, they'll be fine. They'll be just fine if they take this offense and they should, by the way, if you can get Jack Caglione in the lineup. By the way, you owe me $1.
Yeah, I know.
Sat him against the lefty.
Crazy. Here you go. Here's our quote. Vinny Pasquantino, quote, "It starts with me. I've been bleeping dog bleep, not horse, with runners in scoring position." And there is video of the, I don't even know, one of their bullpen guys, setup guy, struck him out and mouthed some words as he walked to the bench.
Okay. Fire him up. That's what they need. Get him going. Fire him up. He'll steal more bases or something. All right, we'll come back. Headlines I missed. Jaylon Thompson will discuss Royals with us as well on the other side. It's all coming for you in another hour of Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Troy McClure. You may remember me from such nature films as Earwigs, Ooh, and Man vs. Nature, The Road to Victory.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
You seem to know all the players in this poorly acted farce. What do they call that one?
Jake Ballbrock.
Thank you. When the world is mine, your death shall be quick and painless.
We'll take it. Welcome back into Sports Daily, everybody. We got a lot coming for you this hour. Jaylon Thompson's going to join the show to discuss all things Royals in just a little bit. We'll also get to a story that came out this morning. Darren Peterson kind of going into a lot of detail. He's got some answers, he thinks, to what was going on physically during the season. Pretty good and interesting story. We'll dissect it here in this hour a little bit later. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, where it's patio season. Have a brew with a view on Delano's rooftop deck. Enjoy happy hour on WBC East's patio, or grab a pizza outside, shielded from the setting sun at WBC West. When you think patio, think Wichita Brewing Company pizza and beer made here. We come back. Thanks for watching us on all the different ways you can. 12 News Connected, Facebook, YouTube, X. You can leave us comments on the online platforms. You can call us at 869-1240. You can leave us voice messages through the Odyssey app. And TJ, there's going to be a lot of these. I'm quite certain. Headlines I missed. Let's do it.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
Jacob, we'll start with the big one. Big win for the Loco Beach Coconuts last night in Banana Ball League in Wichita.
Okay, the Loco Beach Coconuts?
Loco Beach.
I was going for the Firefighters, so that's too bad.
Speaking of firefighters, our boy Kelly Ross.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's so funny. Yeah, Loco Beach Coconuts got it done. That was my first Banana Ball experience. I've never sat down and watched a Banana Ball game.
Get it? You haven't? It's fun.
I've watched it in passing probably. I've seen the social media clips and everything more. So I will say my takeaway of it is that it is more of a baseball game than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Right? You see everything.
We've watched. My kids
you see everything online, and you're like, they're doing silly tricks and they're pitching with their eyes. It's like there's kind of like some dancing in between plays a little bit, and like some weird stuff like that. But the rest of it was just baseball, really fast baseball at that. Yep. That's the part I couldn't believe is how fast they went. 2-hour time limit, and they beat the buzzer. I think I don't even think they made it 2 hours.
Well, and their format and scoring is interesting. We have watched several games because my kids think it's fun. So we've actually watched them on TV. I'm glad it looked like it was a sellout, and
12,000 people allegedly on the dot. That's the number that we got, was 12,000.
And you hope all those people got to experience Equity Bank Park for the first time.
Exactly. That's the thing I was going to say. I spoke with Tim Grubbs a little bit yesterday, and he's like, well, we don't have the numbers for this, but I wonder how many people in the park aren't from Wichita, and how many people in the park are even maybe from Wichita and have never been here before. That may be the biggest deal of why you bring them here, is that, there's the whole part about people getting excited about baseball and yada, yada, yada. And of course selling tickets. But at the end of the day, hey, that stadium was really cool. Let's go back next week and watch the Windsor. You know what I mean? So it was interesting for sure. A lot of good discourse yesterday on Sports Daily between Brady and I about, banana ball haters and things of that sorts, of the real crux in your mind about what is banana ball versus baseball. Is it ruining the game? Which there's some interesting points to be made.
Are banana ball haters of the Harlem Globetrotters?
That's my biggest part of it, is that no. And I think that the only thing that really kind of grinds people's gears about this, because I think at one point everybody thought it was cool, and now people are not thinking it's cool, and they think that, they're ruining the game, and they're making fun of baseball, and they're doing, and I'm like, I don't think they're doing that. I think the only thing that, if you want to have an argument about something, is that it's becoming so popular now, is that kids aren't watching baseball and they're watching banana ball, which is extreme situations. But
yeah,
you know what I mean? When you go to Shields or wherever, and kids aren't going to the Royal section anymore to go find a Bobby Witt jersey. They're trying to go get some bananas merch, which is true. Go to a 10U baseball tournament, they're wearing bananas everywhere.
That's fine. That's not what they're playing.
Yeah.
How many kids truly watch baseball?
It's true.
And you come to it as you get a little older.
I think that the biggest thing for everybody that wants to have a big gripe about it is that there's something to be said about impressionable. I told Brock Wilson yesterday when we were there, I said, if this was around when I was a kid, I guarantee I would have been insufferable on a baseball field. Like I'd have been trying to dance around, playing second base and everything like so there's that part of it for sure. At the end of the day though, it's fun. And the main audience of Banana Ball is children who maybe have never seen a baseball game before. And that's the whole point. Like
fun haters, I just got no time for fun haters.
It's the whole point. When you watch it, especially like you're there and you're like, this is the demographic of people that are here is the same demographic that was sitting with Tommy Castro watching the Tickle Me Elmo live or whatever it was that he was watching. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
So
I wouldn't go see Banana Ball if I wasn't with my kids.
Exactly. And the amount of people in the world that are Banana Ball fans without kids, like that's the small.
It's not very high.
You can complain to those people. You know what I mean? Like there's 100 of them.
But again, like the people that are going to complain about that complain about everything. They don't want, they still want 2 teams in the college football playoff. They still they just don't change anything ever
that was
from the way it was when I was a kid.
I will say that my biggest takeaway, we've been soapboxing about this a lot, is that, it's not making fun of baseball. Like that's not what it's doing.
I have never one time until right now even had that thought cross my mind.
Speaking to the guys, like and I'll say the way that they word things, like they're like, we took baseball and took all the boring parts of it and we made it fun. And it's like, that's the part that like clicks in your mind. It's like, well, baseball's already fun. Like, hold on. Like, you know what I mean? But like,
there are boring parts of baseball, and I love baseball.
It's true, but you watch it and you listen to these guys talk, and they're all college baseball players, or some of them were pro baseball players, and like that's what their biggest thing. I was like, why do you want to do this? And they're like, because people like that might not care about baseball will start caring about baseball. Like that's the coolest part about this, is like. Yeah, so whatever. Anyways, that's the soapbox of the day. Banana Ball last night, 12,000 people in attendance. Let's switch gears. We'll go to college sports. Let's go to K-State first. Yesterday, which Wyatt Wheeler of CJ Online, K-State beat reporter, new guy in town, said it best here with his tweet. As Gene Taylor has turned down the $30 million private capital offer from the Redbird. Blah blah blah. I don't think a team. I don't think there's a team in the Big 12 that's done it. I think everybody said no except for Utah, but I think they have their own. It's not a Big 12 thing.
They did have their own. So the league is taking some.
I've seen people talk about it. What I've seen so far is that it's either an outright no or a projected no. That basically everybody said no. That they don't want to get in the weeds with this.
I can't give you a good take on this because I don't know what the arrangement is.
So my point here is that Wyatt Wheeler tweets this out, which I saw a kind of speculation. So I guess it did happen. I missed that. But he said, I appreciate Gene Taylor for turning down the $30 million private capital offer solely because I don't have to figure out what it even meant, which 100%. I have literally no idea how it works at all.
Yeah. If they're trying to take like ownership stakes somehow, then you're just going to bet on yourself anyway. It makes a lot of sense for the league to do it, for the schools, and unless you're looking at that contract and what you're giving up, I don't know. Yeah. If it's a 10%, interest loan, then I would think it's probably kind of an easy yes. Because you're hedging, right? You're hedging to make more money. But they may be asking for too much. If they're asking for too much, then I wouldn't say yes either. I mean, these colleges have money. They have their, what do they call them? Endowments. Like it's not like they need it. It's just like operating capital. But if it's more than that, then it might be. If they're all saying no, it might be like, oh, you'd like a vial of my blood? No, thank you. Yeah. That kind of thing.
College basketball, Players Era Festival. Going down again next year, KU and K-State this time around, because remember, there's like 50,000 teams that are going to play in this thing, and nobody knows how it's going to work. Well, in fact, Jacob, it's 2 different tournaments. KU and K-State don't even have a chance to play each other. So we have the week before Thanksgiving is when KU will be there for the Players Era 8, their pool, week of November 16th. Florida, Houston, Kansas, Auburn, West Virginia, Notre Dame, Rutgers, and UNLV. Loaded right off the bat. But then you look at K-State's. They are in the Players Era 16. So, obviously they're not going to play all these teams. But the pool, Michigan, Gonzaga, Alabama, St. John's, Louisville, Tennessee, Iowa State, Miami, Texas Tech, Baylor, Maryland, Oregon, Creighton, San Diego State, TCU, K-State. I said yesterday, whenever we got this news, I told Fitz that there is a, real, maybe over 50% chance that K-State has the worst team in that field. Like, we have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
On paper, though, as you look at that, it's like they are the least favorite team to win that. 100%.
I totally agree. But I love that they're in it. I just hope they don't play any Big 12 teams on either side.
Hey, that could be the Baylor game. Tang versus Cats.
Yeah, don't ruin that. Let's have that.
We need to save that to be in Manhattan for the first time.
Yeah, let's have that in Manhattan, please.
Yes.
No, I love it. I hope an aspiration, I think, for the Shockers one day would be to be invited to that tournament.
Yeah, I got one more I'll save for you after the break about kind of re-Shocker golf. But as we leave the segment, last night in Division II baseball down your neck of the woods, St. Mary's versus Angelo State. You see this box score yesterday?
The Rams, no.
Angelo State, baseball power. They won yesterday 3-2, and they didn't have a hit. The other team had 8, and they won the game.
Wow.
No hit or win.
Go Rams. Former conference rival. I guess still conference rival, probably. Austin says it was nice to see the stadium full. Speaking of banana ball, love the energy in baseball, and Austin's a baseball guy, so good to hear that. We'll come back. Jaylon Thompson's next. Another headline later on in the show, and this Darren Peterson story that's come out this morning is pretty interesting. We'll have it all on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And welcome back in. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up this morning. We've got Jaylon Thompson with us here. Find his work at the KC Star, following the Kansas City Royals every day. Jaylon, let's start with kind of the news items. Give us the latest on Cole Reagan's timeline and then Carlos Estevez and timeline.
Well, yesterday, Royals manager Matt Cottrell said that Cole Reagan's is dealing with VEO, which is basically pitcher's elbow, and they're trying to figure out the next steps with him. Probably know more information today as he comes in and gets treatment, and they're figuring out what the next steps will be for him. His injury is kind of similar to what Bailey Falter had earlier this year, and Falter's still working his way back on a rehab assignment right now. So we'll see how long it will take Cole Reagans to be back to form. He might need a injury list stint, so we'll see if that is the case. But yeah, the more concerning one is Carlos Estevez. He's going to be out for at least 3 weeks. He has a right rotator cuff strain in his shoulder. So, I mean, maybe that explains some of the reasons why he's been ineffective with his velocity, why hasn't really got to where it needed to be all season. But it's just really a tough blow for the Royals on both fronts because they need both players to make this run in the AL Central.
Jaylon, we'll start with the starters. What is the, ramifications, I guess is the word to use, with the Cole Reagan's injury? If it is long-term, to me, that, makes me clench my teeth with a team that's kind of already got a struggling Noah Cameron on the back end of the rotation. That's going to make everything a lot tighter for a team that has had trouble scoring runs as well.
Yeah, TJ, the Royals, they came into this season having pitching depth, and that's what they're gonna have to rely on at this point. I mean, if Reagans is gonna be on the IL, if that is the case of what happens, then you're gonna have to rely on guys like Winder Avila to step back into that starting spot, or Stephen Kolek to step back in if he's the guy that you want to go back and get. But yeah, those are like the next two guys up on that list, because you can't go to Ryan Berger, you can't go to Ben Kudnera because they're both injured for the rest of the season. So, I mean, that's where you're at right now. It's really going to be those two guys Avila or Kolik as the guys that need to step up into that role with Noah Cameron. Like you said, we'll get more word on him today on whether his bullpen went well and he can start on Sunday. But yeah, it's pretty tough right now for the Royals.
It is, and that just means the offense is going to have to be better. I think we all probably saw this type of thing as a possibility this year, but we were all bought in on the offense taking a step forward. Which offense do you think, Jaylon, is more likely down the stretch? The offense we've seen in May or the offense we saw in April?
I think the offense that you saw in May is more likely.
I kind of do too. That's a leap of faith, though.
Well, I just feel like you're going to see guys get better as the warm weather comes in, and the more experience and the more reps that you get throughout the season. You're not just going to be a bad offensive team all season long. It's just not going to happen. You're going to see Salvi break George Brett's home run record. You're going to see Vinny Pasquantino start to run into some more opportunities with runners in scoring position. You're going to see Bobby Witt Jr. heat up. That's just going to happen because those guys do it every year, and that's just what those numbers suggest that they can do. Right now, it's just everything is so magnified because we're just starting the season, and games are just being played. We haven't even played 50 games yet, so I can't necessarily say like, oh, the team's going to be exactly who they are going to be in April when we get to August, right? It's just too many games that have to be played, and like I said, I sat here before, and people were saying the sky was falling, and now they're only 2.5 games back of first place in the AL Central. And if they can win this weekend against the Tigers, they'll be in a really good spot.
Let's go to Vinny Pasquantino post-game yesterday. Were you there for the rant, Jaylon?
I was there.
You were there. Tell us about what he had to say.
Well,
what you can say on the radio.
Well, FCC airwaves, I will keep it clean, which I always keep it clean, but basically he was saying that he was playing terrible, and when he struck out against Eric Sambrowski in the 8th inning, and Sambrowski walked off the mound and he let out a scream and he called him out his name, then he was like, well, that's how I've been playing at this moment in time, right? So he really didn't have nothing to go against him and say like, fire back at him because he hasn't done anything in that situation with runners in scoring position. And he said that he is looking for ways to get better, and he's tried everything he could, and he said he's going to dive into some true media that night, and he just got to figure it out. But he knows that he must be better in those situations because that's what they pay him to do. That's what they need him to do. And he hasn't come through in that respect. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough to kind of, I won't say get big leagued by another dude on another team, but that's kind of what happened. And Vinny says he's not going to take it personal, but it's going to be in the back of his mind.
Yes, he is. Of course he is. And he should. He should. That's a slugger that needs to get it going. TJ owes me $1, Jaylon, because you knew it was coming with the lefty on the mound. Jack Caglione back to the bench. Is Jack Caglione a platoon player for the Royals this year?
Everyone is, I think, making a big deal out of...
Because they're not playing him against lefties, Jaylon. Like, at what point do you let the future cornerstone of your franchise hit against a lefty?
Yeah, the way I look at it is this. And I've asked this question 15 ways a Sunday to Q, and this is the response that I was given. They brought in Starling Marte and Lane Thomas to hit against those tough lefties.
Okay.
That's their role. So you got to play those guys that have experience and hit lefties really well. I get everyone wants to play Jack Caglione against a lefty. I get it. But he hasn't shown that he can hit against lefties.
But how does he gain experience that these other guys have if he never hits against a lefty? We are in a scenario right now where Jack Caglione, the guy they called up early, the guy they're banking a lot of their future on, is a platoon player. They would have never done this with Bobby Witt Jr. Never.
Here's the difference, though. Bobby Witt Jr. is an all-world top 5 player, right? So he's going to be out there. His talent ascends to a level that demands that he's out there every single day because he's Bobby Witt Jr., right? Jack Caglione, great power, great ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But if we can really be honest with ourselves right now, have we seen that on a more consistent basis? Have we seen him come out?
I get it.
And
I understand that. But how are we going to see it consistently if he never plays against a left-handed pitcher?
That's the thing that we. I think our biggest point, which I said, it's they lost the game on that he didn't play in, and we can sit here and say like, well, there you go, they didn't play. But the bigger conversation of all this stuff is that even if they won by 20 that game, is the fact of like, the guy needs to play the game. Like my biggest thing that I brought up is that you look across his draft class that is loaded, and Connor Griffin was a couple picks later, I believe, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Like Connor Griffin already got his mega deal. Like we've seen such a trend in baseball where young guys get these long contracts, and their Royals are going to have to look themselves in the mirror in the relatively near future if they want to do that with Jack Caglione. And are they going to be willing to do that for a guy that they don't know can hit lefties because they don't play him against lefties? Like that's going to be a tough conversation to have, I think.
It is going to be a tough conversation to have. I mean, if you look at the Royals right now, they don't necessarily go ahead and empty the bank on their young guys. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. is a rare case of where they was like, we're going to go ahead and pay him right now.
They did it with Salvi a lifetime ago.
That's true. That's true. But you look who you're talking about. You're talking about Salvi and you're talking about
Hall of
Bobby
Fame
Witt
players. Yeah, I get it.
Yes. You're talking about 2 guys that will be Hall of Famers. And I just think that if you look at Jack Caglione's stats against lefties, it just has to be better. I really do. I really do.
That's again, how do his stats get better against lefties if he doesn't hit against lefties? I mean, they can't. They will stay the same because he doesn't hit against lefties. So, like, does Carter Jensen have to play every day? Like, why can they not platoon Cags at DH at first? They've got 3 different positions they can play him. And no, his numbers and his experience against lefties will never get better if he never hits against a left-handed pitcher ever again in his
Let me say it this way, is that to push back on the narrative of, there's 2 trains of thought here, is that one is saying that the games are too valuable that we need to get the lefty split in there of Starling Marte or Lane Thomas because we have to maximize every possible opportunity. But then the same train of thought is the same people that say like well, they started slow, but it's only April. That's that's two different trains. Exactly. It's kind of like hypocritical, right?
Yeah. To me, I think the whole thing is there's 2, like you said, TJ. There's 2 different camps. There's people that say, well, you got to play him every day. He's an everyday player. He's earned the ability to play every single day. He needs to be in the lineup. But then there's also, if you're going to be in that camp, you got to be like, well, even when it's a tough lefty, they drop Vinny Pasquantino to 5th in the lineup. They take out your number 3 top hitter that you have, and you drop him to 5th against a tough lefty because he is facing a guy that is very difficult on the same side-handedness. And they put Lane Thomas batting 3rd. If they do that for Vinny, you're saying, well, we need to put Cags in the lineup because he can hit a home run. He can change the game with 1 swing. That's all well and good. But look at what Lane Thomas, I really want people to see that. Look at what Lane Thomas is doing against left-handed batters.
The point is good. That Thomas and Marte, like they're hitting lefties. So, but that brings back up my point. Okay, then play him at DH. Carter Jensen doesn't have to play every day. Right
where
now.
Does Salvi play?
Catcher.
Salvi, he's not even going to catch this.
I mean, he can't catch for a little bit now.
Yeah. Well, but you know what I'm saying. I'm talking like holistically, like big picture.
Put him at first base. He hasn't played first base at all this year, has he?
Let Vinny take a seat. Here's what it really boils back to for me. If now in year 2 and at bat, he's had 250, 300 big league at bats. If we're to this point and they're not going to let him hit against a left-handed pitcher, they should not have called him up last year. Period. Like, if you're calling this dude up, like, what are you doing to his development? Now he's going to spend another season not hitting against lefties? Well, if you're in contention next year, can't hit him against lefties. We got to win these games. Like, at some point, either Cags is a platoon player or he's an everyday player. And he's never going to get better against a lefty if he never hits against a lefty.
Well, I will say this to that point. If you say, all right, Cags, let's go with your point, Jacob. Cags, you're starting no matter what. You're in right field no matter what. All right.
Or
so
first base or DH. Yes.
Well, he's not going to play first base because they haven't played him at first base.
He's only played there his whole career.
I know, but
anyways, he's playing right field. We got it. He's a right fielder.
He's playing right
he's
field.
Right fielder. He's a right fielder, right? So he's in right field. So now, where do you put Lane Thomas? Are you putting him in center field against a tough lefty? Because you're not going to play Kyle Isbell there.
Sure. Correct.
So Lane Thomas is in center field.
Yep.
All right. So now you saying you want to play Carter Jensen, right? Because you want him to play against the lefty.
I'm more concerned about Cags than I am at this point against Carter Jensen, a true rookie. Yes.
Okay. So what's the difference between Cags and Carter? A couple of months?
I think Cags' ceiling is significantly higher, in my opinion, anyway. And he's already at the 300 big league at bats.
Yeah. So I mean, you know what I really wish? I wish if Matt Cottrell, if he was like, you know what? Let's just give the people what they want. Let's give him against the lefty. And let's say he goes out there, he plays Cags against the next 5 lefties. And if he goes 2 for 10, do you feel the same way?
Did he slug? Is he still hitting the ball 108
honestly,
miles?
I don't even care about that. I think that the biggest part of it is that, like, you just got to put him out there regardless of, like, to get better at it at some point, you know? At some point you just have to do it to learn by fire, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I get your point.
I want to see the Jack Caglione that everybody raved about when he came up to the big leagues. That guy that hit 6 home runs in 10 games.
We haven't seen that guy yet. It's true.
We haven't seen that guy. If that guy is in the big leagues now,
if he does that, if he has a week like he had in AAA that week, and he gets pulled because of lefty on the mound the next time, the world will burn. I feel like it'd be absolutely key. All right, let's change. Let's change the topic. We're gonna keep talking about this. Jacob,
hang on. One more. Lane Thomas, okay, has been pretty good against left-handed pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's been pretty good. He's slugging 435. Cags is slugging 400 against lefties. He struck out too much, which I get it. That is the big concern about him against left-handed pitching right now. But you've given him, I don't know. I don't understand the lack of opportunity for a guy who the Royals have to envision. Like, Lane Thomas is doing okay against lefties.
Yeah,
he's not lighting the world
I
on
will
fire.
I will also say this because even if you have the whole Cags lefty debate, that's fine. Yesterday's game in the first inning, bases loaded. He swings at the first pitch and rolls over, and the inning's over.
Yeah.
He's seen 2 walks in front of him.
That's a
you
mistake.
got to take some pitches there and make the pitcher throw you something in the zone.
Yep.
Don't swing at the first pitch. I asked you that question, and he kind of got a little defensive. He was like, well, if that's the pitch that he decided to swing at, then that's what we appreciate. If he hits a double, no one's talking about it. But he didn't.
But he did,
so,
and he's got to learn that.
It's a very 2025 Cag swing. He did that a lot last year. He's better at it, but that's a very 2025 swing. All right, we got like 2 minutes left, Jaylon. Speaking of headlines, Jacob missed. Can you tell us about John Pork? Do you know about John Pork, Jacob?
No.
Jaylon does. I know he does.
Yes. So I heard of this story, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly more about it, but it's a baseball card that the Royals bullpen has put down there where it's basically almost like a mascot, but
it's a pig. It's a random made up baseball card of a pig wearing a baseball hat, and they put it in their bullpen because some fan threw him one, and then they started winning games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and everybody's saying that this is the new Rally Mantis.
Guys, this is baseball. Weird stuff happens.
But
FLTS.
Yeah, that's a good one too. You got the shirt? You gonna get the shirt, Jaylon? Do you bleeping love this bleep?
I don't know about getting the shirt, but I remember when it happened and Lucas was apologizing profusely. And I saw it. I was like, oh, now everybody's going to start cursing it.
I need that energy from my closer. That's all I'm saying. Jaylon, we appreciate it. We'll follow along at the KC Star, and we'll talk again next week.
All right, see you guys next week, y'all.
There's Jaylon Thompson, our Royals insider. We're coming back. Let's hit this Darren Peterson story when we return.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSEW.
Is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. On your way into work, want to keep listening to Sports Daily even after you park the car. With the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com, you can. Just download the app or visit Odyssey.com and search for KFH. We come back in, a story, I believe this dropped this morning, TJ. I woke up to it at I don't know. It felt like 4 a.m. when I was up. But Ramona Shelburne of ESPN reporting on Peterson, and it sounds like that they finally, Peterson has some idea of what was going on, and it was creatine that was creating these issues for him. They've been able to do, blood work and all these things, and I guess compare it to other blood work and find out like, hey, this is a thing that's happened. So it also details a lot though of like what went on last year, and we'll get into it. But I just I as the draft looms here, TJ, I feel like it'll be one of the great regrets for KU basketball that this all happened while Darren Peterson was there. And if he solves it, he's going to go be a great NBA player. And it's just going to be like, man, that sucks that timing was that way there. I think the reporting in the story all tracks and makes a lot of sense as we kind of remember back to what was happening. He said he thought he was going to die the first time this happened. His entire body was cramping. And so then it became a psychological issue of anytime he would cramp, he was afraid that was going to happen. This was the time he had to go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. So anytime he got a cramp, he was just like, he couldn't take that again. So it would scare him to death. And he was like, I felt like that was the best way to do it, was to just come out when I started to feel it, because I didn't want that to happen again.
It's crazy.
It's a bummer. I hope though that it is as simple as that. It does make me wonder, man, why couldn't they figure that out?
I know. I wonder why or how they have figured it now to be that.
It sounds like extensive blood work has been able to understand, like the levels have been off and wacky and all kinds of stuff. But again, why wouldn't that have been an option?
Yeah.
While it was happening?
I know. I don't know. That's weird because that like it's not like. I'm speaking, I guess, guessing, but it's not like he was taking mass amounts of it more than the rest of the team. Like it sounds like it's
no. Yeah, he was on a normal like microdosing up to
exactly like with the training stuff. Like this is a normal thing.
Well, and that's the other part this story didn't go into, right? Was this KU wanting to do this, or was
I'd assume
Peterson
so.
wanting to do this privately? I don't know.
That's my guess. I have no idea. That's the part that I'm speculating about. That'll be clear. I'm speculating about, but that's the thing is, athletes, like it's creatine is a normal part of athletes regimens now, like if you lift in any sort of way, like it just helps you kind of build muscle. It's nothing that is going to be weird or anything like that to you in most cases. And I guess it was a freak thing that happened. So it goes to show you, if it was KU, like I'm kind of guessing it was, like, why didn't it happen to Flory Badunga or El Marco Jet? Like, why did it just happen to Darren Peterson? That's just the freak part that we don't know. And it all around, it just kind of sucks for everybody involved. If that was the case of why it happened, and sucks for KU that you land a guy like you do with everything around it, and then it goes the way that it does, and then people are acting like he doesn't like his team, and then everything. And just to think about how simple it may have been if we got the answer back whenever. Because that's my next question: did he keep taking it while he was trying to play through it? Because that's what what my brain
because
reads.
He wouldn't have known at that point that that's what it was.
Maybe that's part of it. Knowing of why it is that now is like, hey, stop taking that. It's like, oh, I feel better.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like now I'm sure it's pretty easy to get a grasp of. I think the other thing that it really gives a little light to just how tricky the whole thing was to navigate. Peterson didn't want to talk about it. He wanted to, and we have always, you and I, believed full force based on what we've ever heard, is that he really wanted to be awesome for Kansas and loved Kansas and like was all in on that. And so that part of it I never bought into, the load management stuff. Like it never made any sense. The timing of things never made any sense to that. The fear of going to the hospital again makes perfect sense. But it kind of like the difficulty it would have been to navigate that, not just for he and Bill Self. KU can protect Aaron Peterson a little bit. He's a freshman. You just don't talk about it. But the complications of Bill Self, there's HIPAA stuff. He can't until we learned Peterson went to the hospital, that helped, right? But Peterson had to tell us that.
Mm-hmm.
So Self's in his tough spot because he doesn't know how to help him, I'm sure. And then his teammates too, right? He mentioned that Bryson Tiller, who's his roommate, and Melvin Council were super supportive in it. But what are they going to say? What can they say?
No.
So I think
it's such a weird situation because there's always the joke, about in sports that HIPAA doesn't exist because, if you have a torn ACL, 5 minutes later,
right.
Like the world knows. But, in a situation like this, to where it is a matter to be, he doesn't want people to know that he was hospitalized because he's trying to convince him to be the number one pick in draft first and foremost. And so, yeah, it's a weird. It was just such a weird year, and unfortunate for all parties involved. Basically, is the only thing that you really can say about it at this point. Like, there's nobody
reading it. I'm just like, man,
there's nobody to blame at all. It's just such a freak thing that happened. And
it sucks, and it would because I think it could have worked last year. Yeah. Like if they got it full strength and they had the normal progression of a year to ramp up and have everybody learn how to play together. Like I really think it could have worked.
Think about the thing that sticks out to me is that before everything happened, like hearing the press conferences in the summers where Bill Self was like, "Yeah, we scrimmaged yesterday and Darren Peterson scored 29 points in 20 minutes." Like. It's like we don't know what to do against him. Like he shot 9 of 10 from 3, stuff like that. It's like, could you imagine? Like, what's that going to look like?
Well, he would have. I mean, he was still good when he played.
I know, but like it sounded like that was even like a shell of himself. Yeah,
you saw it. The most Peterson I think we ever saw was first half BYU and end of game Tech, where he just kind of had that look in his eye. Mm-hmm. That's where like a Kobe comparison comes for him, where like when you could kind of see him going, it's like nobody's going to stop him. Like good luck. Yeah, you're not stopping him, which is why he was is so highly thought of as an NBA prospect. And I just wonder how the legacy goes. It's been so strange for KU over the last 3 seasons. They have attacked rosters like in every different way that you can attack them. Retention, biggest portal pieces, superstar freshmen like Peterson. And I myself have to be careful about this because I look at the class this year and I'm like, this isn't going to work, right? Like I don't see it. But last year wasn't given a fair chance to work. So that's unfair, I think, to the era version of Bill Self. Like last year never got out of the starting gates.
The biggest argument to what you're saying there is, what if I showed you a roster last year that didn't include Darren Peterson on it? Like what if we were sitting there in November and it's like we got this starting 5, this guy named Melvin Council and a freshman named Bryson Tiller that make him off the bench, this guy from Louisville, Trey White, and and then Flory's back. And then it's like El Marco, and then you look at that and you're like, I'm squinting. And then it's like, oh, well, there's Darren Peterson. That helps. So you kind of look at this year, and I think that, it may not be crazy to think, depending on what Stokes is compared to Peterson, which he's not going to be as good as Peterson, but
could be different. He could be more productive and not be as good.
Yeah, because he may be healthy.
Right,
that's the biggest thing. Yeah, so I think that you look at that, and in hindsight, maybe that's the thing that you need to say is that you look at what last year was, and you look at how it didn't work because you didn't get a ton of Peterson. Maybe you just look at this and you're like, I mean, if they're healthy, at least there's that.
I totally. That's that, and that's me. Like that's me talking to myself because I look at it now. And I'm just like, man, I don't see this one working. I don't see.
They got a portal guy yesterday. We didn't even talk about that.
Who'd they get?
It's 850. Dennis Parker Jr. From Radford, who was a former NC State guy that went to Radford, averaged 18 points per game. Sorry about that.
Is he a shooter?
A little bit. He's kind.
Yeah,
It seems
he had
like
great. He shot 37% last year.
It's everybody's saying he's basically the Abdi Bashir. I think they got him instead of Abdi.
So last year, though, I will say he only took basically 1 3 per game. So, no. Apologies. That's what he did at NC State. Then he gets to Radford last year and he takes 5 threes a game. He basically went 2 for 5 from 3. So yeah, he did shoot high volume last year.
Yes,
at a high percentage.
Yeah, 4-star transfer.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they need. So maybe Bashir doesn't come, and maybe Dennis Parker Jr. is a better defender anyway.
That's what people talked about as well, is that this feels more like a Bill Self version of Abdi Bashir.
Yeah, so that's big. Like, you can squint and you can see it. I think one of the bigger questions are the freshmen not named Tyron Stokes, because look at last year's group of freshmen that were so good. We didn't know they were all going to be that good, right? So KU's got a handful here of really good freshmen, not just Stokes. Does one of those guys elevate into I don't know. I mean, I don't think you're expecting like Wagler type production, but we didn't expect that from Wagler either.
Yeah.
I think
they said, I mean, did you see they put out that they've got, obviously it's elevated by Stokes and Kenny, but they've got the number 3 freshman class in the country.
I mean, did Kingston Flemings have that kind of hype coming in? I'm not sure.
Yes, he did.
But probably not any more than what KU's got outside of Stokes this year.
Yeah.
I mean, where does Kenny rank? He's top 20?
I think he's like probably top 20, top 10, I think, some places.
That's possible too. So I see this Peterson story, and I know people are like, what Bill Self. And I always say, like, Bill Self's attacked all this differently almost every year, or he's at least tried it in a few different ways. And there have been a variety of reasons it hasn't worked. Last year, to me, like, there were so many times where you're like, oh yeah, this is going to work. This is going to be awesome. And then they never could get around what we're talking about today with this, with these cramps and everything. Maybe I've got to be more fair to how great Bill Self is at what he does, and that he can manage Tyron Stokes. I think Stokes is going to create a lot of smoke intentionally. And can you navigate that? Can Bill Self navigate that? Because he doesn't really have time for that, generally speaking. Were any of his great freshmen as, what's the word to use? Charismatic?
Polarizing.
I don't think so. I mean, Darren Peterson was all business. Darren Peterson reminds me so much of Kobe Bryant.
I think about the freshmen, the Wiggins and Embiid and
Oubre,
Framed Camp class. I think that made
Oubre was.
Yeah, but he wasn't as highly touted as these guys are.
No, he wasn't as highly touted, and we didn't learn he was such an interesting cat till we talked to him in the locker room. Yeah. They were like, "Did you just quote Socrates? Like, what was that all about?" He was an interesting, very interesting dude.
That is one
Stokes
of my most
wants all the attention.
Yeah,
all of it.
You see, that KU team is one of my favorite KU teams ever for some reason, because like that was the year they did
the one that lost to Wichita State in Omaha.
No, the year after or year before, I believe. or something like that. It was the one with Fran Camp on
freshman year, I believe. Okay, yeah. That was the year before. Yeah.
Yes. Because it was Wiggins, Embiid, Oubre, Fran Camp. Like, I'm pretty sure Frank Mason was a freshman that year too, as well. I was in that class. I'm pretty sure.
Was the year before I got here, so I wasn't as locked in.
Because there was like 8 of them, 8 freshmen that came in, and everybody was like, "Holy
Perry
cow!"
Ellis would have been on that team.
He could have been the old man on that team. So, anyways,
yeah, it was interesting. So I would go read it, KU fans, because it's just like, dang, and that's all I keep thinking about is like,
he's gonna be so good in the NBA, and we're all just gonna look at it, and it's like it's such a weird crux because it's like, are you gonna be like oh, that's awesome, he's a Jayhawk, or it's like, oh my God, my heart.
I think as he's awesome, you'll say, glad he was a Jayhawk. Sucks that happened. All right, we'll come back. We got a little more Sports Daily. Don't go away.